So now today we are going to cover something called Relevance AI. Relevance AI is Zapier of no code. So you say you have make.com, you got Anytime, you got coding as well. But when you are trying to build any automation workflow, compare it like Zapier. Zapier, what it does, you simply have a couple of nodes to be added and your workflow can go live, yeah, in no time, right? But it can do very basic jobs, not very complex things. It's not very much configurable. That's why people moved from Zapier to Make and now Make to Anytime kind of platforms. So similar way, Relevance is a kind of complete no code or complete no backend kind of interface where you build your AI agents, right? Let me try to show you what I mean by this. Give me one sec. Let me share my screen. Now, in terms of relevance or something, I'll not go with any sort of documentation, presentation, or complete walkthrough. You already have plenty of experience or good knowledge about AI agents, right? So we can simply jump on something called relevance. Let me even first open this on a normal window like this. So this is the Relevance AI landing page. This is how their agent look like. So they have given a kind of cartoonish avatar to each of these agents. And it came in good limelight almost a year and a half back, somewhere in 2024, September, October, right? So there's a good guy called Ben, and Ben released a couple of good videos about AI agent. So when everyone was talking about 25 is going to be this AI agentic year or something like that, that time this guy came in and this company even started releasing their agents or their basic infrastructure. Now what it does, again, so many promises, so many claims from these AI companies, these agentic companies. Essentially they are working with all the same fundamental. So there is an agent which has a memory, which has a brain, which got a couple of tools and some sort of knowledge and supposed to get certain things done. The whole difference is it's going to be your user experience or user interaction with the whole platform, right? So UI and UX are the different point. Otherwise, almost every other thing remains exactly same. The fundamental, the core stuff is always same for all of these AI agentic stuff. So this is what Relevance AI is. Again, they have made plenty of different things, use cases for specific industry, specific department, specific scenario, process, and all. So you can go by them. Couple of good companies are using them. Maybe I'm not sure how much, but they have like Canva, Databricks, these kind of good level companies are using them as per their website. Even Freshwork, Stride. So they are multi-billion-dollar companies who are like so-called. They're using Relevance AI for their entire stuff, right? Now, what does Relevance provide a little beyond any other AI company or any other agentic company? First of all, like there is a difference between Make and N10. You can see Make is a complete self-managed system, right? Or let's say, sorry, make.com managed system, not self. Like so, Make is doing everything for you. You just have to go there, build your things, and then you can run through. In case of N10 AI agent or somewhere else, LangChain, LangGraph, and so on, or maybe particularly N10, you have to manage your own infrastructure. So what they do, they say we are enabling AI agent for enterprise level people or enterprise level security, enterprise level infrastructure. At the same time, all the protocol compliance is also supposed to be followed, and everything is being done by Relevance in their core secured environment or in their managed environment, right? So that's their USP or there's their differentiating point. Otherwise, rest everything, again, I'm telling you one more time, remains exactly same how any other AI agent supposed to work. So plenty of other things like you can build business development agents, or you can build any sort of research agent. You can build your own custom agents using multiple different kind of tools, custom API calls, various LLMs can be attached, and so on. And furthermore, a couple of other things. So let's not waste any time over here. I would like to first show you the pricing, and the second part will be we'll get into the platform and we'll start building something over here. Now, in terms of pricing, Relevance got a little, or Relevance is a little more expensive stuff. So if you go with monthly part, there is a free plan which says you can take 200 actions or 200 executions, and total you get to see, I think, 200 or 1000 credits. Credit means how many operations or how much LLM usage you do, right? So what they did, they converted all these usage, all the cost into credits, right? Credit means you have some credit, some points, and whenever you take an action, you use some LLM, they will deduct out of those credits. Actions means you have how many executions can run through each of these plan, right? So free plan can run you 2000 execution, so 200. Pro plan can run you like 2500 and so on. And if you go with annual, they'll simply multiply by 12, right? So this is how their plans are. into the whole structure, right? Otherwise, you can schedule tasks, you can do chat mode, so many other things, all good. But essentially, they are little expensive in terms of the pricing, right? Now, let's get into relevance and let's see. I would like to give you a quick walkthrough of it. How does this entire platform look like from inside? Okay, see here. So basically, a native structure where you have your profile, you got your marketplace where multiple people would have presented their agent or multiple publishings are done. Then you have chat box where you can chat with any of the AI agent which is already being built. So let's say if I just mark at the rate, I can chat with any agent to get things done, right? So it's a common window to interact with the system. Then further down, we have task. So in case if you have already scheduled some task for any AI agent to do, let's say every day, every week, every month, every hour, something like this, they all will be presented over here and will say whether agent is working on them. Logs will be created, but at least kind of a view what's going to happen in your agents. Then further down, this is something important over here, is called workforce. And within workforce, we get to see our multiple AI agent. Let me try to show you something where I have more agents as such. Give me one sec. I'm just trying to showcase you one of the good account where I built many of the AI agents from relevance. Okay, this one is here. Exactly same, nothing just in terms of number of agents. So I get to build plenty of agents for testing purpose, for various client demonstrations and all. But you see all of these AI agents are being listed over here. One important thing, once you have this agentic space or this AI agent space, this whole thing consists of both the master agent, and if for any reason there are some supporting agent or subordinate agent into multiple agent architecture, then they are also listed over here. So you can get things done with any individual agent as well, or you can align them one to another one, and they can work into a hierarchy as well. So essentially, you get to see all the agent listed over here, and now as the agentic things are like growing or let's say improving day by day, agents can be associated with other agents, and then they can work into a proper seamless hierarchy. So each agent can be provided with specific things, a specific task, a specific skill set, and it can work according to the scenario, according to the given situation. Why so? Because a simple concept, each like not one agent should be bombarded or not one agent should be loaded with all the information, with all the execution, with all the job responsibilities to be done, right? Or not multiple tools. Even a human cannot do, right? So a human can do two jobs, but not 10 jobs together. So that's why splitting is more good. You should have small agents here and there, and they can do work alongside. So essentially, first of all, agents are here. Second, a quick overview is something called tools, right? Tools are again nothing but couple of modules which help you to either do any sort of data processing, any sort of memorization, any sort of calculations, thinking and all. And all along with this, you have external applications also which can be connected like a tool. So maybe we discussed Airtable is there, we discussed HubSpot is there, Slack, whatever applications you're using day in, day out, they also become tools over here. We'll discuss this in detail. Then we can build a complete workforce, as we said. So whole agentic team can be built, and team can have multiple structure or multiple, let's say, agent coming together all along. Then we have something called knowledge base. Here we can have two kind of memory or two kind of knowledge base. One is a native memory into textual or those kind of things. Second is we can have something called a PDF file, Excel file, Google Sheets, or some sort of document which can go along to the agents in terms of memory part. Then we have some sort of snippets, again, kind of a reusable small piece of code or some sort of functions, obviously particular only relevant or only specific towards relevance platform. So which can work like a as an additional capability of this particular agent. It can also use MCP server, which is recently introduced by Relevance or almost any other AI agentic platform. So MCPs are there, and we can connect with multiple tools or multiple things over here. And finally, we have something called GPT or custom GPT actions. Honestly, I haven't explored this yet, but it says like custom GPTs can be directly accessed by these AI agents on Relevance. Essentially, it's nothing different, but your custom GPT has a specific instruction, a specific job to do, or maybe specific type of outputs. So instead of you configuring everything over here again and again into tools, you can directly allow agents to configure with custom GPTs, which is, again, I'm telling you, I haven't explored yet. Um, uh, I'll still try to showcase you how the custom GPT actions are working or events are working and how they can connect with a simple base of coding and a simple API call or webhook kind of structure, right? So we'll explore that as well. So essentially, these are the fundamentals. Apart from that, we have account level analytics, some sort of connections, configuration, API keys can be stored over here, and as well as any other builders has to connect, or maybe some people have to work into a collaboration mode, they can also be done. So see here, all the connections and API keys are being connected. It's a normal connection window. You can see into relevant into make.com, anytime, anywhere else, the same way we have see things connected over here. Then further down, we got settings, nothing but your account level setting, organization level settings, permissions, how many members are already onboarded. We get to see community, we can ask for some sort of help. And further down, we have something called free plan. Obviously, the plan, free plan, pro, or team, or something like that. How many actions are remaining, how many credits we have, and when plan is going to be restructured or reset with the credit limits. So this is a quick walkthrough of relevance. Now, if you go to marketplace, a few good things over here. Many times, like when you try to start using relevance, you will get to see what kind of agentic actions or agentic build can be done within relevance, right? That's the first question, which many people get stuck. Or you may try to find out some sort of templates, right? So over here, in this case, we get to see what all different agents are being published by relevance, or what other people are doing. Plenty of templates are given over here for HR, operations, research, content marketing, any sort of sales, and so on. Couple of templates are available for free, couple of are for paid money as well. And they can have either one agent or multiple agents as well. So for example, let's say multi-platform workforce. This is published by Relevance and it's available for free of cost. And almost 934 people tried to use this template. So you can simply clone this, and by clone, you can have this into your own workspace, right? So it's rated by 4 star by 4 people. In case if you are like fascinated by relevance or by this whole agentic platform, then you can even publish your own agent over here. Let's say, for example, there is a company called Altari, and they like it says top creator, by the way. So they published multiple agents over here. 16 templates are there from their side. Almost 2000 people cloned them. Average rating is 3 star, and this is their company website. Now, if you go here, all of these either they are paid 3.99, $1.99 kind of a price, or some of them they would have also marked as free of cost altogether. But believe me, they are very basic agentic structure. So let's say it says Midas, the Google Map scrapper. If I go here, 144 people tried to use this. I can simply say clone agent, some sort of description, rating, 144 clones, and categorized into sales, right? Couple of more information over here. If I say clone this, clone means I'm just trying to use this template. It get me things over here. So it says the setup of the agent, couple of instructions over here, the prompt, and then I can start using it. So currently I'm out of credits. I'll try to showcase you on the other account, but I can just type in something, search me for this particular restaurant in Australia, or maybe some other thing, and it can get me all information step by step back into the whole run or on the execution part. So this is what a quick walkthrough looks like. Now, agent can also do phone calls from here, but not from Relevance platform. It's supposed to go through either Vapi or those kind of tools. So even when I say I wanted to create some sort of an agent which would work with a phone call, then it's going to use some external service. Some agentic phone number can be assigned over here, and then it can even make calls. So similar to Vapi or other stuff, we can do these kind of agents as well. Now, let me show you a quick walkthrough of one of the agent I have built earlier, which will give you some good idea. So let's say we have someone called Freddy, the Gmail manager, right? I'll go here and we'll give you a good understanding of how agents are being built. And then we'll even try to build one of the agent over here. So first of all, we can give a name to any agent. And as soon as you land over here, it says prompt, tool, knowledge, trigger. There is alerts, memory, and a couple of variables, right? And a couple of advanced settings also given over here. How do you want to utilize, or what kind of configurations you want to do within this particular agent? Now, the first point over here is something called prompt, right? Now, on the prompt side, the core agent configuration is over here. I can put like any sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever number, whatever name I would like to do or to give this agent, I could do this. Then second is a quick brief discussion or description of this agent, what it's supposed to do. So I said this agent is going to manage my Gmail emails, read, write, or analyze them, right? Then further down, it has couple of fundamental configuration. So as I said, relevance gives you credit for your plan. Credit means it says it's going to give you 2000 credit for a $29 pricing, right? Or let's say, uh, I think what 7000 credit for $50 kind of pricing, right? For that credit, they will be utilized as soon as you use any agentic action. Action means agent supposed to follow step one, step two, step three, four, five, and so on. Relevance AI is going to deploy the infrastructure and that job will be done, right? So first is the infrastructure cost. Second part is the LLMs or the whole brain involved for those agents. Relevance doesn't say you should bring your own API key or something. It says I have my own API from either Claude, GPT, or OpenAI or something else, Perplexity and all. You tell me which AI you want to configure for what agent. And once I'll use it, I will deduct that amount of tokens from your credit, right? So essentially, when you get in here, it says you don't have to bring any extra cost oriented things in terms of LLM, in terms of memory or nothing. I'll take care of all the cost. This relevance says I'm going to take care of all the cost, but I will deduct it from your credits, right? That's their fundamental. Now, how does it make sense? So let's say first of all says, how do you want to configure the brain of this agent? And the configuration is very important because different agent would need different kind of brain power, right? So someone would need logical powers versus someone would need a just basic general model. So by default, it says it has configured cost optimized model. But as soon as you click on here, you get to see plenty of different AIs are available. So it says performance optimized model by relevance, and it is being picked by relevance itself. So either performance or cost. Now you can get to see here how much does this model cost. So it says credit usage. It's going to deduct 0.07 credit for every 1000 input tokens and zero point 0.3 credits for every 1000 output tokens, right? Context window, obviously it's a small window, only 128,000 tokens can be there. And output limit is also having just around 16,000 tokens. If you go with, let's say, a performance optimized model, just clicking on here. So it says for every 1000 tokens, it's going to consume one credit, right? So even for a $29 plan, you get only 2000 credits. And out of that, for every single thousand, it's going to deduct one of them, right? So it becomes super expensive, similar to how you use, let's say, any O model with OpenAI, O1, O3, O4, or let's say even GPT-5, those kind of more intellectual models, or even Claude AI, they are costing a lot. So similarly, they are charging a lot good money. But the context window is almost a million token. So it will remember the whole conversation. Maybe you would have 10 dialogues or let's say 20 days of kind of conversation. It will still remember those whole conversation over here. Outer limit, couple of files to be. Now, all along with this, in case if you are not sure which one to go with either of them, you can go and figure out a list of multiple different options over here. So let's say Gemini Pro is there, GPT-5, Nano, like plenty of different LLMs are available over here. Not even only the popular ones, but something which are coming out of the window. So let's say Moonshot is there. I saw even Meta Llama is there. Quen is there, right? So plenty of different API, different LLMs are available, and you can even filter down right from here itself. So max token is like, see here, credits per 1000 token, even it goes until 61 as well. So if I try to narrow down, maybe they have given a parameter, but see here. So some of these are costing 15 credits every 1000 tokens. It's GPT-4, or let's say 4613, maybe some model, but this is high credit consumption. And this honestly cost a lot. I'll tell you, you may not realize, okay, what happens with 15 credits or 2 credits or 1 credit. Even this makes a lot of difference. When your agent run once, it may wipe out your 500 credits or 200 credits in no time, right? So your 20% plan is gone just on one single run if you don't choose this model right. So yeah, plenty of different option. I'll again say XAI is there, AWS Bedrock, and so other stuff. Plus, you can also see what kind of file they support. So each LLM also have file processing capabilities, and even agent has the file processing capabilities. So what kind of files are there? Audio, video, PDF, image, and so on, right? So essentially, first of all, the model selection stuff. A couple of things are like refined with AI. So once you give your prompt, once you give your own requirement, this relevance inbuilt AI can make it more proficient or more stable as compared to your core raw prompt. And you can test agent right from here itself. So this is a basic part over here. All along with this, you have to write the entire prompt like this. So you say, okay, you are a Growwstacks AI assistant who's tasked to manage the email inbox, classify emails, and do certain things. You will be provided with a couple of things over here. You essentially don't have to write anything. You can just go with refine with AI, just type one sentence, two sentence while just building this agent, and it can do entire job for you. Or you can go with Claude and do certain things like this. Now, it is for performing different tasks, what tool supposed to be used. So it says first of all, access the Gmail account and use the following tool. The tool is connected over here to retrieve the email content, right? To classify, use a classification tool or some sort of categories, not reply, junk, spam, and so on. Then for a draft reply, you can use this particular tool. For any sort of classification, labels or something, or figuring out email from a particular person, you can use multiple tools. So this is how we can have tools being configured over here. How we do within, let's say, WAPI, you have to provide those two curly braces, right, in the tool name. In case of Anytone, you just have to provide the tool name and say, okay, use this tool while you're doing this, right? And so on. So essentially, tools can be mentioned over here. And then further down, include the following information while you send an email. So email subject, sender, classification, and so on. And again, I'm telling you, it can go to very next level. It's just a basic configuration, but you can have multiple agent, multiple tools, multiple steps. They can all be mentioned over here, right? So this is first part. Now, second level is you get to see a tool section. Let me close it. And tools are nothing but the configurable APIs over here. So you see what I did actually, I can go here and say add tool. And there is a almost 10,000 plus tools library given over here. And what they did actually, not just the API calls, but they included tool like perform a Google search, which this agent can go and do itself. So there is a browser dedicated to each agent, not visible to us on the front end, but agent can do and can go and do the whole Google search type. It can even take notes. It can go, let's say, using Rapid API, simply trying to fetch a company's LinkedIn information or extract someone's let's say profile information from LinkedIn profile and all. In case of Anytone or any other MCP, you're supposed to have Rapid API connection from your side, right? Or Apify connection from your side. But in this case, the Relevance is providing all of these tools from their own, let's say, offerings or their own configuration. So they say you simply come here, say what this agent is supposed to do. In case if you're bringing any of your proprietary information like Gmail, calendar, or something like that, add connections. Otherwise, go here and add any of these tools. Relevance will take care of the cost, will be deducted from your main credits, right? So plenty of good tools are available over here for agent to work, not just the applications or not just the API part. See here, generate image is given by Relevance itself. Get email extract company insight from website. This is also given by the Relevance itself. So this makes it a little differentiating point. So when we go for a raw agent building on Anytone, you have to think of everything. Here, Relevance said, okay, we took care of all of these things. You can even run Python code over here or JavaScripts over here. Extract text from website URL. Plenty of tools are being built by Relevance themselves. So analyze text, send email via Outlook, extract brand editing from website. And they are also like classified something like this. So by communication, by CRM, calendar, data scraper, and so on. Let's see if we go with communications. Let's see what all tools are usable for communication part. See, add lead to email campaign, automatically done by Relevance itself. Create a meeting into Google Calendar. This can be done by Relevance itself, right? So teams are there. Send email response to customer. Send email via Outlook. Again, other like different kind of things are there. Now, tools can come from two parts. One is community can add tools like how Anytone community has like installations available for tool or maybe any sort of nodes. They are being built by community. Make.com also got their own community where people are building applications and they can be published on Make.com platform. Similar way, we have Relevance community and people are building their own tools. Some are by Relevance themselves, some are by the other people, like how we saw Altari or those companies. They also build tools on the overall Relevance platform. So in case if you wanted to utilize them, you may have to pay something. You don't have to pay. That's all fine, all upon us. Now, in terms of tool, if you would like to have configuration, let's say with API, for example, there is supposed to be make an API call, even Apify kind of tools, even API call for any specific platform can also be done over here. So let's say Gmail API calls. So in case any specific action is not available within the given Gmail tools, you can make the API call like how we do with Anytone or make custom API calls. They can also be done right from here itself. And again, if we scroll down, I think it will take time for us to reach to HTTP module, or maybe let me try directly HTTP. SMS, they messed around many things. So there's supposed to be a direct HTTP call as well. I'm not very sure. Now, in terms of any tool which you don't find, for example, let's say if you're trying to build an integration with any application which is not available over here by default, then you can build your own tool And again, tool is nothing but just a normal API call, right? Two ways to do this. You can do it with the help of AI, or you can build it from scratch. So let's, if I go with build it from scratch, let's do this. What it says, what kind of input this tool will expect. So input can be any number, it can be text, it can be short text, JSON structure, file to upload, table, and there are plenty of other things also given. And once we define like what inputs this tool will expect, the AI agent will read this particular tool and will figure out, okay, what information I have to supposed to passing to this particular tool, right? Then further down, the tool can have not just API call, but multiple steps as well. So see, agent has its own way of working. At the same time, tools also got within themselves, there are multiple steps. So, okay, go first into a particular automation platform, or let's say any sort of API call, then run that data into some LLM. From there, make another API call, refine this data, run some sort of code. So these are small workflows being created inside a tool itself. It can be one single API call, or it can be a anything kind of small workflow. Step by step, each of these things are going to happen, and then you get the final result which feed back into the AI agent. So AI agent knows what this tool would want. It knows the whole configuration schema of the tool, and returning back to it, it may say, like, this is your data. You may rerun the tool, or you may just try to adjust it and take it to the next steps. Now, there are two ways to do this. How we do make.com or Anatan workflows, we can have similar things over here. So I can keep on adding, let's say, add a step of LLM. Then I can add one more step over here. Output runs through a particular way, and then output will go into API call and so on. Or I can build tools like this on each of these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can add multiple steps, any sort of delay, any sort of more tool steps or configurations over here. So that's there. But yeah, essentially tools are small workflows within and within Relevance AI, right? Now, all along with this, once you add tools, you have to configure any app level, or let's say any sort of how would I say, application specific configuration. For example, Gmail comes or work only with a particular Google account holder, right? So you have to give it what email you're trying to use. So I have to add an account over here, and I'll say, okay, let me do the whole authentication part where I can allow only Gmail, calendar, docs, or maybe Google Drive or something like that. So I'll go here, select permissions, sign in with Google, and this whole thing ask me which account you want to run through. So I'll say Manish at Growwstacks is my Gmail account. I want to connect this one, continue, and this account can be connected with the Relevance infrastructure, right? And now all of their endpoint, all the APIs will become a particular tool call within the Relevance. Okay, what is Relevance mail service not okay? My bad actually. So the email which I tried to use, it doesn't have an email service enabled over here. Let me try it. Or maybe let's do one thing. I will simply add my Gmail account to this. Guys, give me just 1 second. Okay, I just added one of my Gmail connections over here, so it can pick data from this account. So I'll go here and I'll say either, oh, it's already connected. Add account, go with all these permissions, sign in with Google. And here's my personal Gmail account, which has Gmail also enabled. Why the previous one failed? Because our emails are on Outlook or on the Microsoft infrastructure. And when I tried to connect it over here with Gmail, it said you don't have email permissions or email things enabled over here. So see here, I simply connected my Gmail or Google account to this one. It can access Gmail, calendar, docs, and the API. Now here I can give it a name. So I'll say Manish is my name, and done. Now, once you configure any of these tools, you can even specifically define what this tool does, like how we used to do into Anaton. We can define the tool description. So it can be either automatically defined by the AI agent, or we can define everything over here like this. This is use this tool to access latest email from a specific email folder from Gmail, or a specific center from Gmail. This is the Gmail account which I can configure over here. And then maybe I can choose whether agent is going to decide what value to come over here, or I can set something manually, like from which sender email address. So most of the time we'll say, since this tool is going to connect with our agent, it's supposed to be picked up by agent itself, right? Then further down, get email by sender from Gmail. I can the X number of emails supposed to be received, and so on. So multiple tools can be associated and can be configured right here itself. I have to give the right account selection or connection selection with each of these tools. Same way, sender email address. So in case if I'm trying to get multiple email addresses, there can be multiple parameter associated with that particular query. So example, I would want to pick up email from a specific sender. I can let AI agent decide. I want to pick up email from a particular date and time. So this also becomes a query parameter, right? So I can let agent decide over here. Similar way, how we toggle or how we click on N10, let agent decide, let agent decide. Same way, all the parameters we can define either ourselves, or we can say let AI agent decide what to do with them. Further down, use unread email from Gmail. Same thing. You can choose which email ID, or let's say which particular mailbox you want to configure. You want to pick this. So from primary or inbox label, or you want to go with promotion, social updates, and so on. Then further down, all of these tools. As I said, if you want to add a tool, simply click on this. We can go here, and I can even say try for Google Calendar. And the same agent can have Google Calendar event or Google Calendar. Multiple tools can come up like this. So I'll say create Google Calendar event. Just click on add to this. Check availabilities here. Get event, cancel event. I could even pick a couple of more. All calendar detail, primary calendar detail, event details, cancel, and so on. And I can simply say add tools. Now all of these tools will be listed over here. See, all of them came. I can simply configure which email account I'm talking about. I'll go with this one. Let's say Manish Mando 08. Or I have my connection with this admin Growwstacks as well. And once I selected, all of these tools got their respective account authorization from admin Growwstacks, right? Click continue, and that's it. My For each of them, I just have to configure this, all good. And all of these tools got associated with this particular AI agent, right? Now, let's get into the next section, which is all about the knowledge base. And here in case of knowledge base, it doesn't have any sort of like vector stuff or those kind of very complex knowledge bases. It works with pretty plain vanilla basic stuff, right? So you can add Google Drive things, you can add SharePoint knowledge base, couple of files from a particular folder. You can even add Notion, you can add any existing knowledge base right here, and which we have already uploaded maybe any sort of files or something like this. Further down, we can import things from websites. Just have to give website name. It can extract all the content from that particular website or the whole HTML structure. Nothing but a scraping kind of thing. So as soon as you say, okay, get data from this website, it will pick static data from that website and will like dump everything into a knowledge base. You can create some tables. Table is again how we create annotate table or make.com tables, those kind of basic infrastructure. And further down, if you want, you can even drop some sort of markdown text, which is copy and paste from some document. The whole text can go right here itself. Now, why it's a markdown? Because markdowns are easy for agent to read. The whole hierarchy is there. So what is heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, and further down the let's say content, normal content or some bullet points and so on. So this is how we can build knowledge bases over here. In case if you want to have any static files to be added, you can simply drop these kind of multiple files into the agent, right? So this is how agent get to see the knowledge base. And even from knowledge, you can define at each step which knowledge to be considered or which knowledge to be picked up from for which step or what for what kind of processing, right? So that's is something important. Then further down, we have something called triggers. Now, this is a very important stuff in case of let's say relevance get to see, like I would say, two or three kind of different triggers. The first trigger, let me try to show you add trigger here itself. The first triggers, they have some basic day-to-day kind of triggers, which are either emails or any sort of fresh desk kind of tickets wherever updates are coming in from there, or some messaging app kind of trigger which is called Slack, right? So these triggers are available even on the free plan as well, right? So first of all, trigger can come from these things. Second part is you can have recurring triggers where your automation or your agent is being scheduled and it's supposed to run every single hour, every 10 minutes, every day, every week, or so on. Then there is something called premium triggers you see here. And this is where it makes a little difference. So they say if you wanted to control your agent with WhatsApp or with Telegram, since they are like instant messaging channels, you have to spend 5,000 additional credits every single month, right? So it's I'm not sure why they have put on these kind of pricing, but it's insanely expensive, right? So this is a kind of revenue strategy, and you can get to see 5,000 credits means approximately $40 you have to pay only for the trigger or only for the premium triggers, right? It's very, very expensive. Now, in terms of other triggers, they have something called API, webhooks, or you can even have tool-based triggers as well. Or external, they by default connect with Zapier, and that can also become a trigger. But again, these are little developer kind of things, so not handy with any other person. And that's why these are, I would say, downgrade, or I would say demerit as compared to the day to day. A layman can look at these and figure out, okay, how do I want to talk to my agent, right? So essentially, WhatsApp, Telegram are the best one, or Slack can be also configured over here on the trigger part. Or you can even do this recurring run, which goes at least up till, see here, if I go with minutely, minimum is a 10 minute, right? So it's supposed to run in a every 10-minute kind of window. It can't be every 1 minute how we have inside N10. It can't run on every minute or the real time basis. Otherwise, you'll have to configure things. So for us, it is not a big deal to configure with API calls or webhooks, but at least for someone who's a non-tech, it'll be a big challenge for them. So this is how the trigger part also works. And again, for all of these triggers, whether these are premium triggers, you will have to have a paid plan at least in place, right? If you don't want that, all fine. You got to see a chat window so you can run this agent, and the whole run thing can happen right here itself. Or we saw at the start outside of this, let me go here, discard changes. This is called the chat window. And Relevance can give you this kind of a chat window to interact with all of your agents, right? So even these agent can be worked out or can be discussed or can be interacted right from Relevance chat window. Outside of your connection, you can even give this chat link to someone else to interact with your agents, right? So it is not limited like you have to log in into your account to chat with the agent, nothing like that. You can even bring this chat outside, and then the session can be taken up by any team members as well. So for example, if your organization have any small team or some sort of a team, not everyone would want to have a specific agent, but a single agent or a single, let's say, entity who's working along with your team, every team member would want to interact with it, right? So in that case, you can even share these kind of links and say, this is our agent team member, and anyone who want to talk to it, just go on this particular link, chat with it, and it can give you outputs, right? So this is how the whole, like, multiple people can be associated with one single agent as such. So that's the whole idea of this chat box altogether. Now let's get back into our agent. Okay, we had, let's say, this Max, for example. Now, apart from this, in terms of alerts, like how we used to do this inside N10, is there something called get human in loop, right? So in the same way, there are two things which can handle with the alerts over here. One is either you want to have some sort of permission, some sort of approvals, or anything which human has to, let's say, give consent before agent move forward. That can be done with the help of alert. And second is, in case if the agent is going to face any issues, then it's supposed to also notify you on the alert part, right? Apart from this, one more important thing. In case if your agent is using a particular tool, for example, you want to configure a payment workflow, and you say agent supposed to make all the payroll payments or all the vendor payments, right? And every time when it is making a payment using, let's say, Stripe payout API or PayPal payout APIs and all, it's supposed to ask you, I'm going to make a $10,000 payment. Are you okay with this? And you say, okay, then only this tool will be executed. Otherwise, agent can just empty your entire account. So in those cases, we can even have tool level permissions as well. So it says either auto run, let AI agent decide, or require approval. So if I say whenever you're sending an email, require my approval, or whenever making a payment using some PayPal Stripe tool, require my approval. And this is how you can configure. Alert can come to you. You can say, okay, let it go, and then the thing can work out, or it can directly go. So that's there. And finally, in case of fail, any sort of API calls get fail or tool calls get fail, then it has how we have make.com break error handler. In the similar way, it says like either tool can retry itself, it can do a couple of maximum retries, and what happens after multiple or maximum number of retry happens, does it mark as or terminate the whole task or ask for approval for rerun, right? So it can store in memory or it can scrap the entire task. So this is how the this stuff can do. Now, apart from this, it has two kind of memory. One is short term and second is called a long term memory. Short term is nothing but how we have our N10 memory module. Similar way, it's over here as well. This can store all kind of basic variables, and we can also have something called long term memory, which remains or which maintain the whole context of all the interactions happening with AI agent throughout the time. So I'll say, let's say, have a long term memory. Says, does it have any stored memory available or not? Yes, no, kind of a thing. And then a couple of settings, never use them as such, but override the system primary, saving from memory. Okay. disable delete memory tool. So a couple of tools are given over here within tools, which I will show you later on. But I have never tried playing with this long-term memory as such. But essentially, it maintains the context. That's what I know. And finally, in terms of variables, in case if you want to define any organization level variable, or for example, your email address supposed to have sorry, your email structure supposed to have some sort of HTML signature, right? You can store that data over here and you can just mark that variable. So all the time the variable will be picked up. A variable will have its own data stored. It can be picked up and will be included into the AI agent run. For example, you may have some organization ID, some sort of password, or maybe whatsoever, right? All those information can be stored into multiple different variable types, and we can simply set up values, or we can configure them, and variables can come to the AI agent live whenever the agent is working. You can even store any sort of API key, OAuth account, or tool approvals and all into the variables, right? So more and more uh, in deep, you can go and configure your agentic thing. But essentially, that's it. Nothing beyond this. So fundamentally remains same. There is instruction, tool, memory, knowledge, and the brain, right? These are the basic fundamentals of any AI agent over here. Now, in case if you want to go with more deeper configurations, you can have a couple of general configuration, thinking abilities. We did all of these things multiple times into our N10, right? So they're almost same what you do over there. Python code execution is there. Set tool to run once for which tools you want to check in and when they should supposed to run. Agent timeout is also there. Visualization, markdown, like plenty of things are here which can be configured. Welcome message, some sort of guide using agentic stuff, suggested prompt for using agent and relevance chat, switch model after a particular token count. So for example, if you choose a higher performance model, which is going to consume, let's say, 5,000 tokens, and you want to say, okay, don't go beyond this particular point. So in that case, you can say, if it already reached to this level, it should switch to a lower cost model and then do the remaining jobs with the lower cost model as compared to the higher one. So again, like parent agent prompting and all, plenty of things. In terms of LLM, we already configured over there at the start, but you can have, see, it's coming from the previous setting, right? You can have a primary LLM and you can have a fallback model. So in case if the agent reaches out a particular token limit on the first LLM, it can switch to the second one, fallback. Or if the first LLM is not responding for some reason, like you would have seen day before yesterday, Claude was down for almost 2 hours, 1 or 2 hours time. So in that case, their APIs are not working at all, not the interface as well. So in those cases, if one LLM is not working, it can fall back to the second one and manage its own output. So agent can stay live for a longer duration. Then token output is here, some sort of tool call, like what all tools supposed to be called all the time, parallel tool calling, temperature. Again, plenty of things. We can add MCP servers over here, either Composio or any sort of N10 MCP servers. They can be connected right here itself. There is something called a task view. I told you at the start. See, agent not supposed to always work in a schedule trigger or not always into some sort of a, let's say, prompt based or some chat based things, right? It may also have its own task. So perform every Sunday, perform this particular task. All along while you run on schedule basis or maybe on the message basis, still you want to schedule some task for this agent. So this task view can also be built up, or let's say sub agent, they can also be added over here into any of these agents. So see, I got plenty of agents I shown you at the start. Let me, let's start changes. If you go to agent library, there are plenty of agents available over here. Now we are into currently an agent called Max, the email manager. Now, in case if I'd like to add any sub agent to it, I could go with any one of them. It's a long list. Everything which is in my system can be simply added to it. I'll say, let's say it's an email manager. I would go with a LinkedIn agent, for example. And I'll say this agent is connected. And within the prompt, I'll say you got this particular LinkedIn agent. When you get an email, do some sort of profile scraping from using this particular agent, right? And this agent will have its own configuration, its own tool, the way of working, and it will become a sub agent for this primary Max, right? So this is how, again, more and more configurations can be done over here. But that's it. These are the max limitations, or I would say the max which can be done with the help of Relevance AI.